Okay, let's start. Photo essay. The first question is that what is photo essay? I heard this question from many students that what is exactly photo essay? This is very important. Just listen and watch the slides that I will show it to you. According to Webster, a photo essay is a group of photographs arranged to explore a theme or tell a story. So the easiest answer is a group of photographs. It's a photo essay. That's easy, as easy as a pie. If you have some photographs and you want to present them and they are a group, they're connected somehow to each other, so it's a photo essay. And it's a very old word. We will talk about it. And the other question is that why should we go for photo essay? What should we care about these things? I want to say that a single photo could be full of emotion, meaning, and all other things that we heard about a photo. Some people say a photo could be words a sentence, or could be more than an article and talk about everything. So yeah, right. But there is something else. Also, it could be based on a fortuitous presence of a photographer on the specific moment and place. What does it mean? It means that the photographer, by any chance or any fortune, he was there and take a photo, and that's all. And yeah, he was very cautious. He was high alerted. He was an artist and all the things, but that was the moment that he or she was there, and that's all. But if he or she repeat these things, I mean that, okay, the same thing happened again, the same thing happened again, the same thing happened again, we understand that, oh, there is something, a purposefulness, a mindfulness practice, something that he or she's thinking about it, she's caring about it. So I want to say that a photo series is much closer to thinking photography than a bunch of single photos of everything. So I'm a photographer, I go out, I find a very nice shot of a bird, and the other time I saw a beautiful young boy or young girl, I take a photo of him or her. Then I go out, I saw very nice structure, a building, I take a photo of that. Then I saw something happening. For example, firefighters are running for something. Then I take a photograph again. So there are lots of different photographs. They are all beautiful. They are all nice, but they are not connected to each other. And I just take them as, you know, it's a kind of just hobbies. But if I'm a kind of photographer that I'm looking for something important and something that I care about it, something that I consider it, so then I will go for that things and I get what I want. So this is the meaning. So a great photo essay that have all of these practice could be powerful enough to evoke emotion and understanding without using the word. Okay, but sometimes we need words. So I want to say that this practice could be mindfulness. This practice has a purpose, and that's all. So because you are going to do that, you have something in my mind before taking the photograph, and that's all. Exactly the way that you did till now. You went, for example, for taking photographs of lines. You went out to take photograph of lights. You went out to take some picture that have balance. So you practice these things. Means that thinking photography means that you have purpose. You didn't just walk and take everything that you want. You have something in your mind and you were looking for that things, and then you took that photographs. So this is the practice that you already did. But we want to put more meaning, more purpose in this kind of practice. And this is coherence and cohesion. So I know you already heard about these things in essay writing. So coherence and cohesion is in essay writing. And now we are doing a photo essay. So it's the same thing. Exactly the same thing like in writing. We should consider these two things. So what are these? As you know, coherence is the quality of being logical, consistent, and able to understand. Just like a building as whole, that they have coherence. They are together. They are supporting each other. All these part of the building. And cohesion, on the other hand, refers to the act of forming a whole unit. It is effectively a subset of coherence. So you can picture coherence as the example of building, like the bricks and cement and all the things that come together to build this building. So in short words, coherence and cohesion are the tie of the photograph together, the things that just make this photograph to stick to each other and you understand them as a whole. This is very important. Did you get the point? Good, because it's very important here. Any question? Okay, so let's see some example of different coherence and cohesion here. These are just example. These are not all available. Okay, just remember, these are some common example. You can go beyond these things. You may have some other kind of coherence and cohesion. So these are just some example, but some famous photographs that I myself gathered in these things here. First of all, one of the things that is really common among photographers is the matter of place. I mean that some photographers take some photographs of the same place, same area, and this is the part that these photos are connected to each other. Let's see the first one, Ed Cashy. Okay, Ed Cashy is an American photographer, as much as I know. He is a photojournalist, and this is one of the old photo series of him, Indians Highways by Ed Cashy. Let's see, and I will ask you, what did you find as a cohesion and coherence in these photographs, and what's your idea about all of these things that you are seeing here, and how did you evaluate these photos maybe? Yeah, let's see. Okay, now I'm here to hear what did you see and what's your idea. I just stop here, come to you to see all of you in slide. Uh, and now let's see. What's your idea, first of all, about this photo series? And did you find any connection, and what was that connection? And is there any other connection to this photo except of the obvious one, maybe?
In my experience with, so I have seen Cashy's work before, and Cashy has this thing for shooting muted lighting or a more orange lighting. He said in an interview for did an interview, and he said that he likes to match his lighting to the rurality of India for that specific like period of his life. He said something about that. So his look is defined not just by India, but also from his lighting and just like generally the way his images are colored. He doesn't seem to like to edit his photos as much as some other street photographers, and so I think he relies on natural coloring to his images quite a bit.
Thank you. That was very good things about the photographer, but let's focus more on these things. As you know, there is some ideas like that it was come up with Roland Barthes and said that when we want to talk about an artwork and kind of art piece, let's forget the writer, forget the author, forget the photographer, and just see what we see and just talk about it. And it doesn't matter what he said and what he tried to do. Let's see what he did. You are right, and he is right. So Haley here said frozen moments. Many of them had something that would have been moving, but they were frozen in time. I also thought they had really a good flow for where my eyes would travel across the picture.
I'm not sure, like I'm just gonna throw it out there, but I think like when you looked at the photos, like when I think of a highway, I think of like Deerfoot or something, right? Just with cars. And then when you see these pictures, you see people walking and like the vegetable and the animal. Like so it's like showing like usage of the road in such different ways that it is kind of coherent in that sense. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. So just I want you to tell me again to one sentence. What was exactly the coherent account according to your idea?
The variety.
The variety. Okay. What else?
The things in the pictures looks kind of sad. Like the cows starving people, poor, and that one picture with the car that flipped over in the highway was, I mean, that'd be sad if my car was flipped over.
Yeah, good point. Just say what you see and what you feel. It's okay. We don't want, there is no wrong and right answer. Okay, let's, yeah, you're seeing the photos again, right? Okay, let's, I want to say something else. I haven't been in India at all. I love to go there, but I haven't been. But I saw from these photos, for example, something that are connected with the cultures. So I understand here that cows or cows are something important in India, or maybe holy. Yeah, they are holy in India. I understand from these photos that the roads in India are like England, like Australia, that not like United States, and that we usually kept here right, but they kept left. So that these are the differences. I understand that motorcycle is a vehicle of a life for carrying things, for going there, but here it's not. Here, for example, in Canada, motorcycle is just a kind of vehicle for pleasure, not for working, not for life. And I understand that monkey could be a pet. I understand they love colors and some other things that you already mentioned. I understand that they're all different kind of funeral. For example, one kind of funeral, or it's a cultural thing that some people, some religion in India, they may leave their corpse just like this one in the street. And these are, again, I think it's a kind of motorcycle with a truck, and they are carrying people, and people are gathering bushes or all other things. And animal like elephant, also they are still kind of a vehicle that they are using to carrying people and other things. So what I want to say among all these things, I want to say that Cashy just show us very narrow and brief picture of the Indian culture that actually most of them are attracted to tourist eyes. So, you know, this is the thing that I want to say here. Look at these people. So there is a corpse on the street or under a bridge. Actually, this is a bridge, and this is a corpse under the bridge, and people are just passing them without any, you know, they are not surprised. They're not looking even at that corpse. So they are doing their lives. So everything is okay. So they are not surprised by having a corpse under a bridge, but the tourist eyes, I mean, Ed Cashy, he find these things very, you know, specific, very special, and take a photo of this one. And all of these photos are a kind of looking at India from a perspective point of a point of a tourist or someone from outside of the world. Most of these things are something common in people, for Indian people. As I mentioned, these are just my thought, okay? I haven't been in India. These are just my thought from these photographs. And I want to say that at the end. So we see lots of different things. As Anisha mentioned, these are variety of everything. We see anything about cultures. Color and these clothes that I think they call it sari, something like this, sari maybe, the clothes. And we see motorcycle, we see cows, we see pets, we see animals, we see all of these things and the variety of different things. India is a very big country with more than 1 billion population. And they have lots of different kind of culture and religion. So they have different kind of religions that we cannot name them. Okay, there are variety of religion, but Etkeshi could not gather all this information. So what did he do? He just take what he saw and connected them with each other with one thing, was highways. So if you look at these photos from the first one, you see some part of highways in any of these photos. Here we are under a bridge. We are here in highway. We are by, you know, beside the highways. We are here under a bridge that is under construction. Again, a highway, under a bridge, highway, by the highways, next to highways, there is a bridge of highways, beside the highways. Yeah, I want to say that he just connected all these things, all this variety that could not come together. So you cannot say that I just went for Indian culture. So there are some other people that say no, this is not Indian culture. This is some just special, some brief or maybe very short or limited things about Indian culture. Then he said, okay, I don't say that I take photograph of Indian culture. I said that I just took many photos of highways. Yeah, he's right. There are highways, but there are also cultural things, all the things that you mentioned. So the connection here, or the cohesion and coherence, is the highway. So we cannot say, Anisha, variety is very important here, but we cannot say the variety is cohesion and coherence. Variety is variety. So how they are connected with each other, just in the form of the place. So all are around the same area, the same place. Did you get what I mean? So here, the photographer just used a trick to connect these things together. For example, I want to show teenager culture in Calgary, but I don't know that how cover them and how I can be able to cover all of these kind of cultures, their language and other things, and the way that they wear, the way that they act. So what can I do? I can say that I'm gonna take the photographs of high schools. So I go to high school, take the photographs of students, and maybe after high schools or around high school, everything connected to high school. But I show a little limited of this culture, right? So we need something to connect these photos together to say that we having a good photo essay. Any question? Any objection? Okay, let's continue. Again, so here, after these kind of these photos, I want to talk about concept. Sometimes photographers connect their photos with concept. Let's look at Peter Menzel, then we will talk about what you saw. Okay, so let's go to his website. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, it's Peter Menzel Photography Galleries, and we will go to one of, yeah, these are the same, what the World or Hungry Planet. Let's see these photos. Please look at these photos carefully, and there are some word next to them. Oh, you cannot see the photos. What's wrong with it? Yeah, this is some, wait. I think we should change it to share like video, maybe optimizing. No. So you're seeing the photos, right? You were seeing, yeah? Okay, let's, okay, yeah. There are some information here about the photos. It's very good if you read them here on the right, and I will just pass the photos by and by. So because there are lots of the photos, I'll skip some of them. Just Yeah, there are lots of them. I skip some of them and just go to. Okay, so what's your idea? Abigail said the lifestyle of families around the world, not only looking at the food, but the people's clothes and the home that they live. Very good, Abigail, very good. Any other idea you want to add to Abigail? Yeah, Abigail is right. So here, as we see, it's not just about the food. In my idea, the first thing here is about the concept of family. What is the meaning of a family? And what are the hubs of the family in their house? Sometimes they are in living room, sometimes they're in kitchen, or sometimes they are different. And what is the meaning of family in different part of the world? For example, here, the Natomo family, I think it's Mali someplace. So when we look at a family, this is not like kind of European family, or because we have here European family, yeah, Monzo from Italy. So they have 3 kids and a couple, and it's not like the other kind of family. So if you look at this one, this is a European family, and this is also a European family, and probably this one is, yeah. So the same pattern is in repeating all this. So parents and 2 or 3 kids. But in some other kind of the world, some other part of the world, the family means having sometimes grandchildren, and sometimes they have their grandparents, and sometimes they have more than 2 or 3 children, like the one that we saw already. And also the other meaning of their clothes, and we also from their names we understand, and their clothes that we understand that maybe what the religion they are practicing, and other kind of the things, not just the food. Yeah, here this is very nice about this China. So as I know, in China, till maybe 5 years ago, or some other years ago, you cannot have more than 1 kid in urban area. It was allowed to have more than 1 kids in rural area, but in urban area you should have just 1 kids. But they changed the rule, they changed the law about 5 or maybe more years ago. So if you look at here, we have this kid here with parents and grandparents. So the family means all that kid. So he is all of, you know, he is the meaning of life for all of these peoples, because they gather together and they have all of their effort to just continue their life to that person. So this is a different meaning. I read an article years ago in Guardian that it was the topic of the article was new emperor of China, and it wanna just the writer wanted to say that this style of practicing, this style of life, that two people come for more than 60 years, it was the same rule. Two people come together and just have one kid, and two people come together and have just one kid, and these two kids grow up, and again they get married and they have just one kid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 person come to one kid. All of their experience, all of their knowledge, and all of their source, I mean the money, at the end come to one person. And all of their loves come to one person. So that person could be really happy, because after 6 persons, all of these things, sources come to that person. So according to Guardian, it said that these are the new emperor of China, because they are really happy in the way that he said. Okay, I'm not gonna to say that he is right or he is wrong. Yeah, there are some other things that the people may say no, they were not happy because being alone is not good, or other things. So as a matter of that article, he said that this is a kind of lifestyle. Or for example, we see in, I saw here some of them, like I'm looking for that one. Yeah, here. So here, Hakan family in Kuwait. So we see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, and 2 person are in their family that they are part of their family, and they may not be part of their family. What I mean, I want to say that there are some people living with them. So this is the things that I read about it previously. I want to just talk about it. This is the lifestyle that we are seeing through these photos. So among that, we see that what they are eating fish, they are eating I don't know, meat and all other things, rice. I want to say something else. These two people, they are living with this family, but they are not of their family. What are they? They are servant. They are 24/7 servant. There are lots of this kind of style that practicing in some Arab countries, like the countries around the Persian Gulf. So like Kuwait, as we see here, or United Arab Emirates, or other kind of I don't know, Qatar, or other kind of some part of the world. So they have 24-hour servant that they are living with them, and they pay them. So I already read also another article that was saying that this kind of working, it's cruel, because they do not have proper you know, proper living day, off days, and they are 24/7 with the family, and they are working with them. So you see it in this photo. The things that I want to say, that we are looking these photos, they have lots of different meaning, but as Abigail said, the lifestyle, family around the world, clothing, and all the things that you are seeing. But the photographer didn't want to say that I'm photographing lifestyle. Because if you say lifestyle, there are other things that come to our mind and say, no, they are not lifestyle. Okay, he just said, I want to show you how people and what people are eating. Just the connection here is eating and their foods. And even the person, for example, that family didn't know that somebody maybe sometimes like me in other part of the world say that, okay, these two people are working with them. They are their servants. Or for example, some other people, they didn't think that I might talk about that Chinese kid and say, yeah, this one is really happy according to the Guardian article. So we see the lifestyle, we see all of these things, but the cohesion and the coherence that the photographer chose was just the concept of eating and food. Did you get the point? Any idea, anything you want to add? Unfortunately, today we do not have Ilhan because I saw a photo of also Istanbul. We could talk about that photo, but Ilhan is not here. Yeah. Any of these photos you want to talk about, or you want to say that I saw these things like the one that I mentioned in these photos? You didn't see anything you want to say? The other things here is Michael Kenna. Let's see. So here, if we look at these photos, so as you see, I categorize Michael Kenna as a part of the form, cohesion, and coherence. And that was, I think that was obvious. Could you tell me what was the connection among his photo? No one? I think you are tired of the long weekend. That was easy, okay? They have the unity in the form, and all of these photos here by Michael Kenna, they are all they have negative and positive space, black and white. Most of the photos here are, you know, they are white, 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 and some lines and some dots that they are black. So if you see these photos, we know that they are connected in the form. Or you know, the form that they are presenting. Let me show you some other photos to understand how the photos could be connected by the form. I want to show you something else also. Okay. Look at these photos. Okay. What is the most unity in these photos? Most important unity in these photos, how they are connected.
Is it that the skyline is always in the same spot in each photo?
Yeah, the form, skyline, and they have symmetrical balance, all the things together. Yeah, they were exactly the same style. So yeah, the form could be a kind of unity, a kind of cohesion and coherence among photos. Let's continue. Events. Photo essay related to events. Most of photo essay are related to events in the world. You know, if you look at the photos, and not only photo essays, photos, if you look at them, most of them are related to the events in the world. Okay, some different kind of events. Sometimes there are events like Olympics, festivals, parades, and sometimes there are incidents like wars, floods, earthquakes. So there are something happened in the world, like maybe protest, maybe rally, maybe parade, and there are a bunch of photographers and photojournalists that they went there, and they will go there and they take photos. So most of these kind of photographs are taken by photojournalists. Some of them also have story or narration. Yeah, and yeah, these days, photographers, photojournalists, they want to have a story and narration in their photographs. So it's a story about a war, but for example, a photographer just narrating something special in that war. For example, riding to some places or invading, one invade. For example, there is a photo series by Robert Capa that show the invasion of what is the D-Day, that all the they attacked Normandy and they just liberate France from in D-Day, yeah, from Germany. Sometimes there are photo editor to make a photo series. So the photographers are different. There are different photographers, but they are working for the same company, the news agency. And the photo editor just gather different photos from different photographers and make a series and say, okay, this is our series about this event. Yeah. One of the most important and the famous photographers, photojournalist is James Nachtwey. Let's look at his photographs. I should go to his website. I think he's here. Yeah. Witness, it's the name of his website. Photographs by James Nachtwey. Let's go to okay, let's say something. Usually the photographs by James Nachtwey is about bad events, incidents, war, famine, all the things, flood. Okay, we are gonna look at these photographs and they may not be something that you like to see or you would like to see. If you are sensitive to this kind of photographs, I want to say you can just turn off and do not look at this photograph. After I talked about it, you can come back. So just please, if they are irritating or anything, just tell me, because you know this is a kind of photojournalist. We don't know we are gonna what we are gonna see. I know, but I mean that some of them are really bad. Okay, famines in. Yeah, these are some photographs. I try to just pass fast. So this is again Kosovo. Okay, we just looked at one series: Bosnia, Romania, AIDS, Afghanistan, India, Israel, Indonesia, Pakistan. Okay, crime and punishment. There are lots of things. You can just later check the website because I don't want to show these photos here, but I want to say that these photos are connected with the events. You see, they are different style. They may be different form even and location and time, but they have our connection to this some event, very important. And if you look at the website, let's go again. If you look at the website, so it said AIDS. So all the things related to AIDS or all the things related to Afghanistan means Afghanistan war. Then we said Romania means the what happened in Romania, Bosnia, or when he said Kosovo, it means about Kosovo war, or I don't know if it was, yeah, it was a war in Kosovo. Pakistan heroin, so it's connected to Pakistan heroin. So these are some events in the world. Okay, so this is James Nachtwey. You can look at it. It's about events. And about story. Some of the photographs, okay, they do not have, they do not have cohesion and coherence related to place, concept, or form, or events. They are a story. They are storytelling. Let's look at this. For example, Henry Peach Robinson, 19th century photographer. So it was about 200 years ago. It's something, you know, from the old time, but he made a photo series about Little Red Riding Hood, the famous story that the girl just leave the house with a basket of, I don't know, bread and go to her grandmother, but that was the wolf. And the story, you know the story. So look at this one, and let's see some of the photo from the book. Yeah, it's a story, and the photographers make these photographs to show their story. Or Abelard de Morel. Do you remember Abelard de Morel? I mentioned him at the first or the second sessions. Let's see. Yeah, here is Abelard de Morel. If you remember, I showed you Camera Obscura project of Abelard de Morel. You remember these photos that it was a pinhole photography, using pinhole photography? Yeah. So now we want to see something else by Abelard de Morel. This time we are going to see recent work, Alice in Wonderland. So you know the story of Alice in Wonderland. And now these are the photographs that showing his idea about these things. So very nice, you know? So he is telling a story, but not through the book, through some drawing by Tennant, I think, and also just changing and setting all the things and make the story, the photographs. Yeah, it's a Cheshire cat, and everything is here. Mock turtle. So everything is here, but in the story form. So these are five kind of cohesion and coherence in photography and in making photo essay, but they are not always in the way that we see. I mean that too much bright and distinguish. We cannot say always that the connection is place or the connection is concept or the connection is for. Sometimes they are mixed together and sometimes they are something else. So I want to show some of them that we cannot say it's a place or it's a concept or it's concept or place or a mix of together. Let's go toward Edward Bertinsky, that it's a playing between the place and concept. We cannot say just place or concept. We could say both of them. Edward Bertinsky, I think, yeah, he's a Canadian photographer. Now here we see here manufacturing by Edward Bertinsky. Look at these photos, and after that, just tell me what you see, how they are connected to each other in the by place and by concept.
He shoots pictures like Wes Anderson shoots movies.
Yeah.
Very symmetrical, very flat, very uniform.
Yeah. The form. Yeah. Also, we can say that they are connected in the form.
Is this just a specific set of photos that he created, or is this the whole body of his work?
I'm not sure, but I just take them from his website.
Gotcha.
And yeah, these are the photo series called Manufacturing.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, this was Edward Bertinsky that I just categorize it as a place and concept. As Ryan also mentioned, they could be place, concept, and form because they have also the same form, but not specific and distinguished as place and concept. Can you tell me now how the place and concept are connected here? If they are still there, because I just see Ryan. I don't know. Oh, all the photos are super busy, maybe showing crowdedness. Yeah, it could be.
They're all the same demographic of people. They're lower income factory workers in Asia.
Asia. Could you just guess which country it could be?
I'm guessing like Malaysia, Indonesia, could be, more Western Chinese provinces.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's China and showing the Chinese factory and Chinese manufacturing, mass production. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Any other idea? So yeah, this is the place. So all the places are factories. Some East Asia factory, probably China. And so we saw just factories. So these are the places that are connected to each other. And what else? How about the concept?
He's summarizing the working lives of these factory workers. That seems to be all about their order, the organization of people inside these factories, their uniform, the uniformity, perhaps more just like the social flatness, like the social uniformity of these factory workers. He's summarizing the way that they are and the way that they live and how they spend their time at these factories specifically. It gives character to their lifestyle while they're at work. And the scope seems to just stop right there. It doesn't really see them going off of work or coming into work. It's just at their peak time at work.
Yeah, very good, very good. All the things that you mentioned are correct, but there is also something between the lines, something under these photos that are related actually to the things that you said. These are about production, about producing, about their lives, but all of these things related to what? Consumerism. It's talk about consumerism. It said that we are consuming all the things that are producing there in those factories. Good, thank you. Let's continue. And after Edward Bertinsky, we go to Chema Maduz. Okay, I think it's the Spanish pronunciation of the name because he's a Spanish photographer, Chema Maduz. Here we see about the concept and the form. Let's see how they're connected. So what's your idea about this photograph? Maybe we call it defamiliarization of the place. Yeah, you're just changing the place. Good. And now here have David Leventhal that it's about events and the story. Okay, let's look at this one. Hitler moves east. Look at these photos.
Wait, are these all models?
Yeah, exactly. The answer is in your question, Chris. So what is the answer? How they are story and events? Anyone?
Well, I guess everything is getting recreated by models, right? Like little toys and like uh, settings and all that.
Yeah, so there is a very important event, World War II, or when Hitler attacked some other countries, and this is the whole thing that we know. And David Leventhal made his own story, his own point of view of these attacks and this world by using models. So there is an event and there is a story. So there is a connection between them. I just thank you, Jimena. I just named and just bring up these photographers and connection to say that we cannot always separate the things like the way I started. Sometimes they are all connected to each other. Sometimes, as we talked about Edward Bertinsky, so the place and concept are obvious, and also there is form, and also there is a story. Sometimes they are all connected. So these are the way that cohesion and coherence come to our photographs, okay? Place, concept, form, events, story, all other things that you may say. So it's not limited to these things. These are just examples. Let's go to the last one, Barbara Probst, that I think it's a German photographer, I'm not sure. And let's look at her works. It's very nice. So because, you know, you cannot say that which one is this, what is she doing, or which one is more obvious or distinguished in her photographs. Let's see, and then you just tell me what you saw.
Her photography is so chaotic. It's like huge chaotic energy.
What do you mean exactly?
Could you go back a slide?
Yeah, this one?
She seems to practically disagree with so many of the fundamentals of, I think she would fit more into like high editorial photography. I feel like that disagreement to fundamentals is part of what her style is. Like it's very cohesive that way as well. I mean,
Like what? Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I want to bring it up more. What do you mean by?
Well, so say the middle row, third column. In front of, if you asked a textbook on photographic composition, that's a terrible photo. The eyes are blocked, the foreground is out of focus, there's no background to speak of, which means that there normally wouldn't be a foreground either. What is in focus only makes up such a small part of the photograph. The second column, last row, that's a photo of practically nothing, but it still makes sense in the set. Same as the first row, third column. The actual subject of the photograph isn't actually in the middle or in focus. The camera is not the central point of the image. So she's going against so many of these fundamental ideas and teachings of photography. I don't know when did she make her work? Like what era is she from?
Yeah, it's contemporary. She's
Contemporary?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's been so long, like she's so far past the experimental stages of editorial photography, and she's here just pretty much giving the middle finger to every other fundamentalist editorial photographer that's ever existed. Like, yeah.
Let's see her, because you mentioned, you bring up very good things. Let's see her website. Barbara Props. Okay. I want to share to see who is she. Barbara Props, contemporary artist working on custom multimedia and single. And yeah, she's from Germany, and now she's 56. And this is her website. You can see her works later, but some of the works that I show it here, I think, yeah. Some of the works, it's exactly the same style. You see the same style, but different works. So again, and I want to say what happened here. Some of them are, it's pretty slow here. So this is the same. Let's go back and show the things that I showed you. Something like, what was that?
This slaps. So good.
Yeah, I showed, for example, this one, but you can check the website yourself and see what is it. Yeah, very good point. Very good point. I'm here to listen to hear more. Yeah, the things that you mentioned was very good, and yeah, exactly. But more, please, because his work is awesome. Her work is awesome. Yeah, this is also, I showed this one, some of them, yeah, this one. So maybe from this one, you can get the point and more and more. Look at her website and see what do you see, then come back to me and we will talk about it. All of you, please. So if you want to, I will keep the website up to see the address. If you want to go, yeah, this is Barbara Props. Okay, and this is about her. Please check her website.
I think the way she approaches her work is quite important to the way her images turn out. I don't think her photos, I don't think she takes photos for the photo. I think she takes photos of the process of taking her photo. I read a little bit about her, and her photos often include like other cameras. And I think rather than take a photo that's supposed to be this is hard to articulate. She's very industrial about her photographs. So like a lot of her photographs include wires from the shoot, cameras from the shoot, tripods from the shoot. Her modeling seems to more include like her subjects seem to take part in the process, and that process seems to be what she's taking photos of. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
So yeah, you are right. Yeah, completely right. Absolutely. We are seeing what she's taking photograph of. What happened there? What is the concept? Why she's trying? Let's I will go to her website. Yeah, let's see here this part of installation views. Yeah. Okay, the last one to 2019. So this is the last one, I think. You see here, so there are photos, and also here is yeah, this is the same place. There is something in her photos if you look at them. You know, the moment the time, the place is the same. But we are looking at the photographs of different point of view, different cameras. If you look at this photo, all the things happen in the same time. You see, this is the same moment, the same time, the same place, but we are looking at different area, different point of view. Let's go to something else. There is a very famous photographer, if you know about it. It's Henri, in French, Henri Cartier-Bresson, or Henri Cartier-Bresson in English. Henri Cartier-Bresson is a French photographer. Let's see his photograph. So there is very important things in his photograph because of he was a pioneer genre of street photography, and there is a decisive moment. So the decisive moment, it's the idea that Cartier-Bresson just brought up and said that you should be always there, you should be close, you should know what happened, and at the best time, just take your photographs. So as you mentioned, she attacked many ideas in photography and criticized different kind of the photography. So one of the things that she attacked, are you watching the, no, I think, yeah, so sorry. One of the things that she attacked, it's the decisive moment. So when you say that decisive moments, what is decisive moment? How about the angle? How about the idea? How about the point of view? Because all of these photos happen on the same moment. But the thing is here that they are not all the same. So one of the things that she criticized is that idea, and also all the other idea of the photography and composition and all other these things. So she wants to say that how photographer and how point of the view and how all of these things are important in photography. Yeah, the things that we choose is the matter. In photography, our selection, I choose is matter. In short, she's a very, very good contemporary artist in photography, and she's trying to criticize all the idea before her. You know what I mean? Did you get? So the things that I wanted to say today was that these are the meaning of cohesion and coherence in your photograph. We saw Barbara props now, and there were not any kind of these things that we mentioned, or maybe they were all there. So, you know, this is the point that I wanted to say. Barbara props is exactly according to our article, the things that we read. Barbara props said that let's photography do his business. Let's photography be itself, and do not just tell about anything to the photography that what to do. Here, we have connection among all the photographs of Barbara props, but could we say that they were connection in the place or concept or form or events or story or all of them? Yeah, they are all of them together. So cohesion and coherence are not limited to these things. Could be a combination of all these things, could be something else. Just remember, this is the meaning of cohesion and coherence.